Euro meeting, Prime Minister Eduard Heger. Yes. I just want to inform you that he's one of our new members, if I may say so. The Solana Party from Slovakia became in the last 4 weeks now a member of the EPP Group. So we are really support, and Lano and also Eduard Heger as a Prime Minister is one of the key figures when we speak about the question how EPP politics should look like. Center-based, content-based, based on solutions in times of crisis. That is what we want to achieve. And that's why it's great to have here in Vienna, close to Bratislava, so it's not far away, the chance to talk to each other on the points we have on the table. I want to underline, especially with the Slovakian background, that for us the solidarity with Ukraine is key. That is for the upcoming weeks the most important issue. We need a winter of solidarity. That is what Europe needs now. First of all, towards our Ukrainian friends, that we are together with them, that they feel that we support them, having the terrorist way of attacking Ukraine in mind from Russia's point of view. So we need this winter of solidarity towards the Ukrainians, but we also need a winter of solidarity inside of the European Union to care about our citizens, and that is what Eduard Heger is doing also in Slovakia, to care about the poor in the society, to care about those who suffer most about the energy price, about the inflation. These are the two sides of this medal of winter of solidarity, which we as EPP are asking for. So that is what we have in front of us for the discussion today with Eduard Heger, and that's why it's great to have you here.
Thank you very much. Yes, as you said, the whole Europe is going through very difficult and challenging times. The COVID that we just overcame was continuing into a war in Ukraine. We are a neighboring country, and I would like to emphasize as a new member a very important aspect that the EPP is a family, and it's so good to be among the family members and to feel the support in especially these kind of challenging and difficult times, because that's very important to support each other, to cooperate together, and to be strong together, because Europe needs to be strong now. And when we speak of Ukraine, yes, we are a neighboring country, and we were the country where hundreds of thousands of people crossed the border when the mothers and children were fleeing from Ukraine at the beginning of the war. We could see the difficult situation that they were in. We provided the temporary refuge to all these mothers with children, especially an old man, because we are good friends to Ukraine, and that's why we support them with military aid, with humanitarian aid, with technical help aid. And as we said, the winter is going to be crucial. I mean, the bravery that the Ukrainians showed in the last months since the start of the war shows that they are fighting for our values with their own commitment and with their own lives, because nobody thought that they will be able to survive so long. Some people at the beginning were giving them days or weeks. Now we see that they are actually regaining their territory, and they definitely need to help of their friends, of their allies, and that's why we as a Slovakia do it, but we do it together with our friends and member countries in Europe. It's important to provide them the sufficient help during this winter, because we see what Vladimir Putin is doing. He's killing their infrastructure, their energy resources. He's letting the people freeze, but with our help they will survive, and they will be able to go in the spring even in a more offense and a regaining of their territory, because we believe in territorial integrity and their sovereignty, and that's why we will support them. But there is also other topics that we have to, as an after effect of this whole crisis, to deal with, and that's the energy crisis that is very important, that all our nations, our countries are going through. And it's I'm very glad that on this forum we can also exchange the experience of how we provide this help to our citizens, but also to our companies.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions?
My name is Stefan Bosmanik from the Austrian Press Agency. I have a question to you, Prime Minister. You know that today the Home Affairs Ministers will be deciding about the Schengen enlargement, and there is a blockage of Austria for two member states that are members of the EU since 2007, and they will not be allowed to enter the Schengen area. and you are from a country that is for a long time member of the Schengen area. How do you see this if you hear that your colleague from Austria is saying he wants to have it postponed for 1 more year? Also, given the fact that EPP is a family and you are you have so much solidarity, isn't this very selfish way to see those things?
Well, as I said, we're living very challenging times, and we're facing challenges from also national perspective. But Slovakia's statement is very clear. We support the accession into the Schengen of Croatia, Bulgaria, and Romania, because they went through the process. They met the criteria. Slovakia went through the process as well. So this is definitely, and this is our statement. That's our vote on today's meeting. On the other hand, as a country that is in the east, and we see the growing migration, it is really, again, great challenge to deal with it. But we have to understand where is the problem and what focus we need to put on, and that's why we've been supporting the Hungarian-Serbian border, sending their policemen, and we've been speaking to other countries, Czech Republic, but also Poland and others, that we need to strengthen the outside Schengen border. That's the reason why Schengen was created. So we put the emphasis and the effort on the outside border, outer border of Schengen, so we can provide our citizens the comfort of having no border in between our member countries. With this pressure of growing migrants, it is a European topic. We discussed it in the EPP, but we're also discussing it on the European Council, and we are definitely not finished. We have to work and helping those countries who have much more demand on providing security on their border, because the pressure of the growing migrant flow is more than normal. So therefore, we need to be united in helping those countries who are bordering, who has the other border.
But just to make it clear, in your opinion, it helps fighting migration if Bulgaria and Romania are part of the Schengen area?
Absolutely, that's why we support them. Yes, we support them, and we have to help them to provide enough security on their outer border. Because if the pressure will be there on their border, we have to provide the help. Because in normal times, the capacity that you have on your border, and when you prepared and met the criteria, is okay. But in times like this, when the pressure grows, of course your local or your national capacity might not be enough. Therefore, the other countries should step in and help with their forces for temporary time and to seal the border for this illegal migration.
One more question from the Austrian television, please.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Wachter, ORF. Do you understand Austria's attitude? Do you say, okay, I understand why Austria is on this position today?
Well, yes, I spoke to Karl Nehammer several times, and we're discussing this issue. And the difference is that we see that the migrants who come to Europe, they want to come to countries where there is high quality of life. That's why they don't, because Slovakia is still in progress, they don't stay in Slovakia. So I understand on one hand, but on the other hand, as I said, we have to have the right priorities, and the priority is to provide the help for the outer border. We had this debate with Czech Republic, because Czech Republic also introduced some inspections on our border between Czech and Slovakia, but we came to an agreement that, and together with Hungary as well, that the solution is to provide the enough strength on the outer border. That's what needs to be not just a long-term goal, it needs to be immediate goal, and we need to react to it, because then you don't deal with the after effect.
2 Fragen noch an Sie, Herr Weber. Wenn Österreich jetzt heute bei seinem Nein bleibt, was Bulgarien und Rumänien betrifft, was wären denn dann die Folgen? Also was kann dieses Nein bewirken?
Also wir als Europäische Volkspartei, wir unterstützen sowohl das Drängeln Österreichs, dass wir die Migrationsthemen jetzt endlich priorisieren. Wir schlafwandeln in eine nächste Migrationskrise hinein, wenn wir uns jetzt nicht kümmern. Und auf der anderen Seite unterstützen wir die Aufnahme von Bulgarien und Rumänien. Es wird den gesamten Raum stärken. Wichtig ist, dass wir nach dem heutigen Tag, wenn entschieden ist, auch wieder Vorwärtsstrategien.
Entire area. So we're looking into strategy, and our first priority is that the EU Commission at last negotiates the return agreement. So we haven't seen enough progress in that. We need to be able to have some way in which we can return illegal immigrants. The system has to operate. Also securing the border. We need funding to secure the border. The Commission has to work on that. And thirdly, we have to actually look where the origin of all this is. We had a great problem with Serbia and Hungary. Hungary is a member of Schengen and doesn't actually meet its obligations. And so when next week we have a meeting of the European Council, there has to be a discussion with Viktor Orban. At the moment, Viktor Orban is one of the open doors to the European Union. He does not control his borders against illegal immigration. So as EPP chair, what do you say about the second immigration crisis? You were there for 2015 for the first crisis. Why is there not a solution? What has happened over the last 7 years? Yes, I understand the frustration that people have. The European Parliament has been waiting as a legislator for years for an agreement on the side of the individual countries. We need an agreement. It hasn't been possible so far. We have the Czech presidency at the moment, and they have made great progress. We have the immigration package, and at last we have an opportunity to clarify this issue, to come up with some proper solution. And this is the message I'd like to put over. We do have an opportunity, and I hope that people will get down and tackle this once and for all and come up to a solution.
The way I know him, he's a very responsible politician and also chancellor who wants to provide security for his citizens, and I think this is the right approach as any prime minister or chancellor to his country. But at this moment, it's about helping each other, because really the challenge that we're facing is bigger than the capacity of single nation. That's why we need, as neighbors, but also as member countries, to help each other and seal the borders, the outer border of Schengen. That's what we need to put the priority and build unity, as we were in the European Union over the last months, in the whole crisis with war in Ukraine, but also other challenges that we're facing. So that's definitely to approach, and definitely we have to see that this is a challenge that we have to deal with till we'll resolve it. It cannot be that we do some partly solutions and then leave it. No, we have to work very closely, and as Manfred Weber said, the Czech presidency is doing a great job in it, and we have to go to the very last details and continue to strengthen the outer border till we get the final solution that we will not have to face the after effect.
Thank you.
Thank you.